What's up guys, in this video I'm gonna go into a little more complex patterns, something that's a little tougher than what I've shown you. Now this is probably the toughest kind of pattern that could come. I'm not sure, but this is what I honestly think is let's say kind of like the toughest. So this has stars, right? So these are stars, and I'm just drawing out this pattern for you guys. Whoops, sorry about that. So, and all this is blank. Here there's 2, here there's 4. So how does one go about writing a pattern like this? Now the simplest thing to do is, well, divide your pattern into smaller patterns. Now we can divide this into this pattern and into this pattern. Let's say we call this 1 and let's say we call this 2. So if we try to let's say split it up into 2 different patterns and draw this, it becomes much easier. You can see that there are 3 of these rows and there are different number of columns. So let's look at it very simply, and you can see that the spaces are increasing by 2 every time. So here there's 2 spaces, here there's 4, let's say here there's 0. So very simply, class pattern public void main blah blah, this is just formality really. Okay, so now let's get into the real pattern. For int I equal to let's go from the bottom to the top this time. I equal to 3, I greater than equal to 1, I minus minus. It's still the same thing going from 1 to 3 or 3 to 1. Anyway, now in the first row we can see there are 3 plus 3, or let's just look at this first number 1 pattern right now. We can see there are 3 stars. So the number of stars corresponds to the, well, let's say the row number. So if we go from 1 to the row number, that many number of stars we have. We go from 1 to 2, the second row has 2 stars, 1 to 1, 1 star. So let's say we have our second loop for int j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus, system.out.print sop, and a star here. Okay, so I hope this is pretty simple, this part of the pattern at least. Now what do we have to do after that? Well, we need to look at the number of spaces, right? So in the beginning there's 0, then there's 2, then there's 4. So we can see that that's increasing as well as a power of 2. So let's say there's many ways to do this. I'll show you 2 different ways. Let's say we have for int k equals, let's say 1, k less than or equal to. Now if you look at it, in the first line, in the first row, the number of spaces is it's 3 minus I into 2, 3 into 2 minus I. Oh, I'm sorry, really sorry, it's 2 into 3 minus I. Sorry about that. So notice this, when I is 3, 2 into 0, there's 0 spaces. I becomes 2, 3 minus 2, 1, 1 into 2, 2 spaces. I is 1, 2 into 2, 4 spaces. That's why you go from 2 to 3 minus I, k plus plus, and here you just print an empty space. Now last loop, it's the same thing, just printing a star. So it goes from for int L, and notice here you're counting down 3 2 1. So here we go from 3, L greater than or equal to I, L minus minus, and here we print we print a star. So when I is 3 goes from 3 to 3, I is 2 goes from 3 to 2, prints 2 stars, and the spaces are already getting printed. So here we close our function, close our class. Now this is a little difficult, so I'll show you an easier way to do this. I'm sure you guys didn't get well the space part about it, so space, like space manifestation. Anyway, lame joke. So let me draw this pattern out. Here's your pattern, and just like it was before. Now this time what I'm gonna do is class pattern, I'm gonna show you a nicer way to do this. Public void main. Let's say we have a variable int spc for space, which equals 0. Doesn't this whole program look so much easier to you now? I mean, I could just write this whole thing out, making one small change. Oops. I'm sorry, out here I missed out one thing. I don't know how I realized it now, but at the end of this there has to be an SOPLN to change the line. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Don't miss that out, that's important. And I guess it just goes to show that even I can, like, even while teaching you, I can make mistakes. So always check your programs, it's important. I've lost many marks like this. Doesn't feel nice. Anyway, let's say here we print our star, and I'm sorry guys, I was just checking whether I'm still on time or not. So yeah, this loop we go from k less than equal to spc, as simple as that. Oops, I'm sorry, this won't be 0, it will be 1. K less than or equal to spc, k plus plus, empty space, L equals 1, L less than equal to I'm sorry guys, L equals I. Oh, really sorry guys, it's the same loop that was out here, 3 to I. And here you print another star, Now the only change you make here is you give your SOPLN blank and SPC equals SPC plus 2. That's your factor by which the space is increasing. So you close your loop, close your class, close your function, and that's your program done. Here also I think I missed out on one thing, closing the class. I'm going to do many of these programs in the compiler to show you a feel of what it's like. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.